यस्यान्तन्नादिमध्यं न हि करचरणं नाम गोत्रं न सूत्रं नो जातिर्नैव वर्णा न भवति पुरुषो नानपुंसं न च स्त्री नाकारं नो विकारं न हि जनिमरणं नास्ति पुण्यं न पापं तत्त्वं नो तत्त्वमेकं सहजसमरसं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। मौनव्याख्या प्रकटितपरब्रह्म तत्त्वं युवानं परिशिष्टान्ते वसदृशिगणैरावृतं ब्रह्मनिष्ठैः आचार्येन्द्रं करकलितचिन्मुद्रमानन्दमूर्तिं स्वात्मारामं मुदितवदनं दक्षिणामूर्तिमीडे वेदान्तार्थविभासकायतये शान्ताय सन्न्यासिने नानावादिनगेन्द्रसङ्घपवये योगीन्द्रवद्याय च मोहध्वान्तदिवाकराय भगवत्पादाभिधां बिभ्रते तस्मै भाष्यकृते नमोऽस्तु सततं पूर्णाय बोधात्मने अपारसच्चित्सुखवारिराशेः यस्योर्मिमात्रं भुवनं समस्तं गुहाहितं तं रमणं गभीरं चिन्ताविहीनं हृदि चिन्तयामि। रागाचन्द्रसमानकान्तिवदनानाकाधिराजस्तुता मूकानामपि कुर्वती सुरधुनी नीकाशवाग्वैभवम् श्रीकाञ्चीनगरी विहाररसिका शोकापहन्ती सताम् एका पुण्यपरम्परा पशुपतेः आकारिणी राजते योऽन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचमिमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्यखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना अन्यांश्च हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान्नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यम्। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम्। यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे सद्गुरुं चन्द्रशेखरम्। मातामहो मातरं च पितरं च पितामहो मातुलं च गुरून् सर्वान् वन्देऽहं ज्ञानसिद्धये। पीताम्बरङ्गरविराजितशङ्खचक्रकौमोदकीसरसिजं करुणासमुद्रं राधासहायमतिसुन्दरमन्दहासं पातालकेशमनिशं हृदि भावयामि। We have been experiencing the wondrous Krishna Avatara. Usually in Bhagavata Saptahams, where they give discourses, Upanyasam, or even if they do a Narayaneeyam Upanyasam, the Sampradaya is to finish it along with the Rukmini Kalyana. Those who have heard Bhagavata Saptaham, in whichever language it be, the usual Sampradaya is to complete it with Rukmini Kalyana as a Mangala place, a context where you end with the marriage. The marriage is Kalyana, it is Mangala, so that we end in that particular point. But if we take our original Granthas, that is be Bhagavata or Mahabharata, they do not stop in that point. So Rukmini Kalyana is right at the center of Dashamaskandha. It's almost at the beginning of the Uttarardha of Dashamaskandha. And then there are the various stories after that. Similarly with Narayaneeyam also, it does not end with Rukmini Kalyana. For our own mental peace, and we want it to have a happy ending, so we end there. But the reality is very different. In all fairy tales, it ends with they lived happily ever after. But in samsara, that is never the case. You never have a happily ever after. Even in Ramayana, after Rama Pattabhisheka, there are many other things that happen. So it is never a happy ever after, because samsara, the nature of samsara is like that. Bhagavan gave a definition in the Gita, anityam asukham lokam. This loka is meant to be temporary and to be full of sorrows. So even if Bhagavan himself has incarnated here in some form or the other, he will have to undergo dukkha. Though he is established in that supreme jnana and therefore that dukkha does not affect him the way we seem to get affected by it, even then from a laukika drishti, there is still dukkha. Many other challenges that they will have to face: family problems, kingship problems, government problems, political problems. Now that Krishna is back to Dwaraka, having married Rukmini, though Ugrasena is the nominal king of Dwaraka, everything is handled according to Krishna. He is the one who takes decisions, who everybody respects. So he is called as Dwarakadhisha. Ugrasena is the Maharaja. But even Ugrasena respects Krishna because they all know that he is the Supreme Personality. All the residents of Dwaraka and all the Yadavas know that. Though every now and then, because of their pride, because of the Arishad Vargas, they seem to forget and they will have their own problems. But they all have this knowledge that he is the Supreme Lord. So in Dwaraka, there are many things that Krishna does. So Bala Leela is very different from the Dwaraka Leela. That is why Krishna Avatara is varied in what it does. It appeals to all kinds of people. The political acumen that Krishna displays, the valor and courage that he displays, the decisions that he takes for the sake of the government, for the sake of his kingdom, for the sake of the well-being of everyone in Bharatavarsha, his far-sightedness is all in display during these Leelas in Dwaraka. These are also intertwined with his being with Pandavas. So, few stories are from Mahabharata, few stories are in Bhagavata. But all along, it displays the beauty of the Grihastha Jivana of Krishna. In the Dashakas that we are going to see today, we are going to see the Ashtamahishi Vivaha of Krishna and the various other political dealings that he will have to deal with. And so, in the forthcoming Dashakas also, we will be seeing how Krishna shaped the Bharatavarsha of that day. And we still have those effects till today. That is what we will be going through today and in the forthcoming few lectures. Satra Jitastvamata Dubdhavatarkalabdham Divyam Syamantagamanim Bhagavan Nayachihi Tatkaranam Bahuvidham Mamabhadinunam Tasyatmajan Tvagiratan Charato Vivodhum. In Dwaraka, there was a man named Satrajit. He was not a very good-minded person. He had his own evil intentions. But nevertheless, he had done a great tapasya towards Surya Bhagavan. And he had got a mani, a jewel named Syamantaka. He also had another jewel, a jewel of a daughter named Satyabhama. He had already given Satyabhama by word to Shatadhanva. Shatadhanva was another person in Dwaraka among the Yadav dynasty. Satrajit had promised Shatadhanva that he would give his daughter in marriage to him. But Satyabhama was not interested in that marriage. Satyabhama wanted to marry Bhagavan Krishna. Krishna knew this. So he had to, similar to the case with Rukmini, where Rukmini had given by word to Shishupala, similarly Satrajit had given Satyabhama in word to Shatadhanva. But Satyabhama wanted to marry the Lord. So the Lord had to again create a plan where he could marry Satyabhama, where he could force the hand of Satyajit to give Satyabhama in marriage to Krishna. Krishna knew that Satyajit had this jewel named Syamantaka with him. This jewel Syamantaka, if worshipped in the proper manner, would every day give a large amount of gold. So that was the main intention of Satyajit, that he wanted to amass a lot of wealth. Divyam Syamantaka, a very divine jewel that he had. So Krishna went to Satyajit and he asked for this money. He said, please give this Syamantaka money to me. What is the use of so much gold for a single person? If this is kept in the government coffers, then it can be used for the well-being of the whole society. So please donate it to the government. That is what Krishna asked of Satyajit. Bhattatri is saying here his own opinion of this. Tatkaranam bahuvidham. So a lot of people say a lot of things. Even you went to Satyajit and this is the reason you gave to him for requesting that jewel from him. But I think differently. Mama bhati moonam tasyatmajan tvayiratan chalato vibodhum. This was a strategy by you. It was a stratagem by you to gain Satyabhama's hand. So somehow you wanted to marry Satyabhama, and this was the plan that you made. Starting from this, you have a long plan in mind to somehow win over Satyabhama and not let her be married to Shatadhanva. So that is the whole plan behind this. You had no idea of getting Syamantaka money. That was not your idea. But you asked for Syamantaka money to get Satyabhama money. Adattam tantubhyam manivara manena alpamanasa prasenastadbhata galabhugivahan prapamrigayam ahannenam simha manimahasi mamsabhramavashate kavindrastam hatva manimapi cha palaya dadiva. Satyajit refused to give the money to Krishna. Adattam tantubhyam. Because he is alpamanasa. He is a petty-minded man, miserly fellow. He wants to keep all the wealth to himself. He does not want to give that to everyone. The dana buddhi is not there. So he wants to pour that complete gold that is gained from that money. He wants for it for himself. So alpamanas, very narrow-minded person. His brother, Satyajit's brother, was named Prasena. So we will come across a lot of names across these few Dashakams. Dwaraka, Leela itself has many names. And since many of these stories are unfamiliar to many people, the names might look new also. So this is the Uttarardha of Bhagavata, Dashamaskarta. Prasena, who is the brother of Satyajit, he borrows this jewel from Satyajit for some time. He says, I am going out for hunting. I want to show it off to everyone. And therefore, he wears that Syamantaka money in his necklace and he goes out to hunting. Ahannenam simhaha. On the way while hunting, he came across a lion and that lion slayed Prasena. So Prasena was killed by that lion. And that lion, seeing the shining jewel upon Prasena, he took that away. Probably the lion was attracted because of the jewel. And it slayed this fellow for want of meat. It wanted to eat him, it slayed him, and then he took that jewel away. That very shining jewel went into the hands of that lion. Jambavan, who was there in that same forest, Kapindraha, says Bhattatri. Jambavan saw a lion in possession of this Syamantaka money, very radiant jewel. Jambavan also did not know what that jewel was. So he slayed that lion. Jambavan killed that lion and he took that money along with him. He thought it was some very nice jewel and he gave it to his daughter Jambavati to play with. Palaya Dadiva, and Jambavan's daughter was Jambavati. He went to his own cave and gave it to his daughter Jambavati as a plaything. Shasham susatrajit iramanu janastva maniharam jananam piyusham bhavati vinam doshakanika. Satrajit understood that he somehow got to know that his brother has been killed, and now that Shamantakamani is lost, that is the main problem for Satrajit. So he starts spreading rumors that Krishna is the one who has planned and killed his brother and taken the possession of this Shamantakamani. He has started spreading rumors. Beautiful line, the second line of the shloka. Again, it is an alankara, arthantaranyasa alankara, which we've seen before in many places. Bhattatri says, listening to a dosha, a bad thing about people who are great, is like nectar for laymen. For normal people, this kind of gossip is extremely, it seems to be relevant for them. If some great celebrity or a great person who has lived his life according to great principles and they are respected by everyone, if one small iota of dosha, some bad quality is found in them, even if it is not found, you illusorily put that quality upon them and then spread fake news, which is abundant these days. Then everybody catches on to that. It is like one single black spot on beautiful white cloth is evident, immediately evident to everyone. That is why all our elders used to be so careful about their character. Character is something, when there is a blemish, it is so difficult to wipe that off. It is almost impossible to wipe that off. Even till this day, when we do Krishna Ashtottar Shatanamavali, we say Syamantakamane Hartre Namaha. Krishna never stole that money. He stole butter. He stole the hearts of everyone. That is different. He had nothing to do with the stealing of this money. Still, in that Ashtottar Shatanamavali, we have Syamantakamane Hartre Namaha. So that is the kind of effect that rumors can have. It has become a part of his Namavali. So we have to be very careful about our own character. And we have to be very careful before blaming some other person without knowing the facts. And gossip is absolutely to be avoided. I mean, there is no point in going on and on and on about somebody else's dosha. There is a shloka in Ramayana, the Ayodhya Kanda, when the first sarga of Ayodhya Kanda, Valmiki again begins with the qualities of Rama. Among that, almost the first quality he says there is a beautiful quality of Rama. Kathanchidupakarena kritenaikena tushyati nasmaratyapakaranam shatamapyatmavattaya. If someone helps Ramachandra Prabhu, at some point of time, a very small help, somehow you could probably call it a help, or it just happened that way. Then Rama, he thinks so greatly of that, and he is always indebted to that person. He keeps speaking so highly of that person. He is so filled and satisfied because of that help. But if that same person commits 100 mistakes, he causes 100 obstacles, he does something against Rama, even 100 times, Rama will not remember that. How will he not remember that? Like, if we ourselves commit some mistake, just as we forget it so easily, but if we do some small good thing, we keep remembering it forever. Similarly, Rama does it for another person. If the other person commits something wrong, he forgets it immediately. And if he has done something very good, he remembers it for a long time and keeps praising that again and again. Nasmarati apakaranam shatamapi atmavartaya. But generally, the general populace is exactly opposite to this. Jananam piyusham bhavati kudinam dosha kanika. Even a small amount of dosha, a drop of dosha is like nectar. Especially when it comes against a person who is filled with qualities. Gudinam dosha kanika, jananam piyusham bhavati. That is how the general populace is. So we have to be very careful of protecting our own character and not tarnishing someone else's character. Both are extremely important. Tatas sarvajñopi svajana sagito marganaparaha prasenam tam drishtva harimapi tato bhuhu kapiguha. Then even though Krishna knew everything, and whatever had happened, he had a knowledge of everything. Along with his own routine, he went searching for this money. He wanted to show that he is not the one who has stolen, or he did not have anything to do with this. He saw that Prasena, on the way that Prasena has been killed. Then he followed those footsteps. He saw the footsteps of some lion. Then he saw the lion also had been killed in some fight. And then he followed the footsteps of the bear. Then he went to the cave of that bear. There that bear saw him. Jambavan saw Krishna, but did not know that it was Ramachandra Prabhu itself in another avatar. Bhavantamavitharkayan ativayasvayam Jambavan mukunda sharanam himam kaiharodhu vidyalapannam vibho raghupate hare jagajagetyalam mushtibhihi chiram tava samarchanam yadhita bhakta chudamanihi. Bhavantamavitharkayan, without knowing that it was you, that it was Bhagavan Vishnu himself, Jambavan said, Mukunda Sharanam Himam, I am the one who has taken shelter in Mukunda. I am Bhagavan Rama's devotee. Who is the person who is coming and standing in front of me? Who is there in this world to attack me? Such was his devotion to Ramachandra Prabhu. Then he starts fighting with Krishna, Vibho, and what is while fighting each one, they enthuse themselves with the chants of fighting. So his chant is Vibho Raghupate Hare Jaya Jaya. He says, Oh Raghupati, may victory be to you, may victory be to you. And he did Archana to Bhagavan Krishna with the throw of his fists by hitting again and again. Alam Pushtibihi Chiram Tava Savarchanam. By blows of his fists, he did Archana to Bhagavan Krishna. Vedita Bhakta Choda Manihi, the crest jewel among the devotees. He showed his devotion in this way to Krishna. Then later, having realized that it is Krishna himself, it is Rama himself in the form of Krishna, Buddhva Tatena Datta Navaramanim Paramanim Chaparigrihan. His young daughter he gave in marriage to Krishna. Navaramanim refers to Jambavati, and Varamanim, the great jewel, that is Yamantaka, which was in their possession, both he handed it over to Krishna. Parigrinhan, Anugrinhan, Amumagaha, Sapadicha Satrajite Manim Pradaha. So, having blessed Jambavan, he got that money back and he gave it back to Satrajit. That I am not the one who stole it. This is how it had gone and it was lost. I have retrieved it and you please take it back. It has to be with you. He gave it back to Satrajit, who is Satyabhama's father. Tadanu sakhalu ilalolaha vilola vilochana duhitaramaho dhimane hamam iraiva pararpita. So Satyajit became Vrila Lolaha. He was overcome with shame that he had caused such a rumor among everyone that he had called Krishna a thief. So he was overcome with shame, and with that shame he gave his daughter in marriage to Krishna. Vilola Vilochana, one whose eye is always moving. Duhitaram, his daughter. Dhiman, now that buddhi came inside him that he should give his daughter in marriage to Krishna. Even though She was promised to someone else. Giraiva pararpita. By word she was given to someone else. Only by word she was given. Now she was actually given to Krishna. Adi adita manina tubhyam labhyam samitya bhavanapi pramudita manas tasiva danmanim gahana shagaha. So along with Satyabhama, he gave the Syamantaka money also again to Krishna. Krishna gave to Satyajit, Satyajit gives the money back to Krishna along with his daughter. So twice Krishna received a daughter and money. Jambavan gave his daughter and the money to Krishna. Now Satyajit is giving his daughter and the money to Krishna. Oh, but Krishna wanted to get only Satyabhama. So he took Satyabhama's hand in marriage and then he returned the money back to Satyajit itself. He said, you yourself keep the money that I got whatever I wanted. I wanted only Satyabhama. I have got her. You can keep the money with yourself. Tasiva adatu mani gahana shayaha, says Tatri. One whose inner thinking can never be understood. One whose intuition or one whose idea can never be understood. Ashaya, gahana shayaha, such deep thoughts that you have, it cannot be fathomed by anyone. So you gave that money back to Satyajit himself. Now this kind of a money. So this is the money. Today it is money. Whoever has a lot of money, it causes jealousy in someone else. And therefore there is so much problem that is caused. Whenever you have something in possession which causes jealousy to someone else, that itself is a problem. That is why people take sannyasa, the greatest of jnanis. This detachment is necessary because you should not have in possession something which might cause jealousy to others. That is their principle. That is the highest principle. Whenever you have in possession that might cause envy to someone else, then it causes a vicious circle. We are going to see what all this money is going to cost. If that same Samantaka money was used for social cause, then it would have been far better. Even then, someone might have wanted that money in their own personal possession. So anywhere, this money causes problems. Lots of money causes lots of problems. Therefore, dhanam, datavyam, more and more you keep giving. As much as you give, the money is protected. Bhartrihari in his Niti Shatakam, he said, money has only three ways to give. It could either be used, it could be given to someone else, or it will be stolen. These are the only three ways for money. No other way is there for money. So this money, Syamantaka money now, what is going to happen, we will see. Krishna now has three wives. The first is Rukmini Visa, next Satyabhama Vivaha has happened, Jambavati Vivaha has also happened. Vrila Kulam Ramayati Tvayi Satyabhama Kunte Yadaha Kathagatha Gurun Prayate Higandine Kritavarma Gira Nipatya Satrajitam Shatathanur Manima Jahara. The newly wed Satyabhama, overcome by shyness, and Krishna was sporting with her. He was making her enjoy the newly wed life, and he was a cause of delight for Satyabhama. At that time, the news came to him that the Pandavas were burnt in the house of black. In the Jatugriha, they had a calamity had befallen them, and along with their mother, all 6 of them had been burnt. Kaunteya Dahakathaya Atha Kurun Prayate. Krishna proceeds towards Hastinapura to meet with Bhishma, Dhritarashtra and others and talk and say what happened. Though Krishna knows that they are still alive, that dukkha he has to go and he has to call upon them. He has to say sorry for the demise of your relatives, of our relatives, his own aunt's children. He goes to Hastinapura. Then he is away from Dwaraka. Akrura and Kritavarma. These two get together along with Shatadhanva they plan. And Akrura and Kritavarma instigate Shatathanva that you have to get this Shyamantakamani, you have to steal Shyamantakamani from Satrajit. He had given Satyabhama to you by words. He had promised Satyabhama to you. And now he has married Satyabhama off to Krishna. So you should steal this Shyamantakamani from him. Somehow you have to do that. So they instigated Shatathanva. Nipatya Satrajitam. Shatathanva, who is also very cruel and evil-minded, he killed Satrajit and he stole this money. Once he killed Satrajit, all the women there, Satyabhama also got to know of that. She was extremely depressed. She was sorrowful that her own father had been killed for the sake of this money. And because of that shoka, she went directly to Hastinapura to convey this news to Krishna. Shokat kurunupagatam avalukya kantam hatvad shatadham samaharshayastam ratne sashankajivamichilage hamitya ramogada samashishikshadadhartarashram. Immediately after listening to this news from Satyabhama, Krishna returned back to Dwaraka. By that time, Shatathanva had given this money to Akrura and he had fled from Dwaraka. He knew that Krishna will be behind him. So he fled from Dwaraka. He took the fastest horse and he fled. Both Krishna and Balarama went chasing behind him. He reached Mithila, which is near Nepal. And by that time, the horse was almost gone. It had the horse had no energy to go forward. So he left the horse and he started running on foot. Krishna caught up with him. And again, Krishna also chased him on foot. And he killed him. He killed Shatathanva. But the money was not to be found with Shatathanva. Shatathanva had given the money to Akrura, who was in Dwaraka itself. Both Krishna and Balarama have gone to chase Shatathanva. So Krishna killed Shatathanva. Now that they have reached Mithila, which is so far away, Balarama tells Krishna, I will stay here. This Mithila Dhipa is my close friend. The king of Mithila is my close friend. I will stay here for some time with him. I do not know what happened to the money, to the Shyamantaka money. I have my own doubts, so I am not going to search for it. I will stay here. He says that, and when Balarama is staying there in Mithila, that is when Duryodhana comes to Mithila for a year and learns the nuances of Gada Yuddha from Balarama. Higher education. From Drona itself, he has learned. Higher education from Balarama, he learns. Then Balarama was staying in Mithila. That is the last name. Ramo Gadam Sama Shishikshata Dhartarash. So Balarama taught Duryodhana Gada Yuddha when he was staying in Mithila. Akruragesha Bhagavan Bhavadichhaiva Satrajita Ucharitasya Yujo Jahimsam. How come Akrura had this kind of a thinking? Only by Bhagavan's own. Bhagavan simple. From inside, Bhagavan is impelling him to do such things. Somehow Akrura himself, what about the death of Satrajit? Because Satrajita is also evil-minded. Kucharitasya Satrajitaha Kucharitasya Yuyoja Himsam. Somehow he brought out the death of Satrajit. Even though you know that Akrura had this money, Akrurato Mani Manartaman Punastun Tasiva Bhuti Mupadhatu Piti Bruvanti. So you did not take the money back from Akrura, probably to bless Akrura with a lot of prosperity, to bestow prosperity on him. You did not take that money back from him. Bhaktastvayis Tirataras Sahigandineyaha Tasivaga Vathamati Kathami Shajata. Akrura is so devoted to you. We saw his devotion during the Akrura Gamana when he came to Gokula. How come he also got such evil thoughts, such cruel thoughts? He is Gandineya. He is Gandini's son. So Akrura's father was a great man, meaning he had some siddhi. So once upon a time in the Kashi Naresha, the kingdom of Kashi did not have rain at all. So at that point of time, the king of Kashi called Akrura's father to his kingdom and he gave his daughter in marriage to him. And that is when there was rain in Kashi. For a long time, there was a drought. So this is the story of Akrura's father. So now that Akrura has this Shyamantaka in possession with him, and he got to know that Krishna is returning back to Dwaraka in search of the jewel, he also leaves Dwaraka along with Kritavarma and he runs away. And then there are a lot of evil omens in Dwaraka. So a lot of people start talking. As usual, they start talking. There are rumors saying that Akrura's father was a person who could bring rain and bring prosperity anywhere. Now that Akrura has gone away from here, even here we are seeing evil omens. We have to bring Akrura back. So again, Krishna is in a fix. Krishna goes and brings Akrura back. Vinyanavan prashamavan ahamityudirnam garbam dhruvam shamayitum bhavata krutaiva. Akrura had this pride that I am the one, I know Krishna, that he is the greatest Lord. I have that jnana and I am absolutely calm and peaceful. Prashamavan. So this pride came into him. The pride of being humble and pride of being the devotee of the Lord is the greatest pride to do away with. So this is the pride that Akrura had. To remove this pride of Akrura, Garbam Dhruvam Shamayitum. So that is why you made this whole Leela of Akrura creating this whole thing and Akrura having such thoughts. Yagam Bhayena Kritavarma Yutam Punastam. So Akrura had left and gone along with Kritavarma outside Dwaraka. Ahu Yatad Vinihitam Chamanim Prakashya. You asked Akrura to come back. And that money which was in Akrura's possession, you showed it to everyone that it is there with Akrura. That is where I am going to keep it. Money Prakashya. You showed it to all your relatives and everyone present in Dwaraka. Tatraiva Subratadhare Vinidhaya Dushyan. Giving it back to Akrura and saying, you are the one who should be in possession of this Yamantaka money. You keep it with yourself. Bhama Kujanta Shayana Pavane Shapaya. Oh Lord, who is happy in the bosom of Satyabhama, who happily reclines on Satyabhama, may that Guru Ayappa protect all of us. So this is the kind of problems that this Shyamantaka brings for Bhagavan and everyone around him. Such a kolahala just because of this Shyamantaka. And because of that, Bhagavan gets the name Syamantaka Mani Harta. And we are actually doing Archana Syamantaka Mani Hartre Maha. We move on to Dashakam 81. Snigham Mugdham Satatam Abhidam Lalayan Satyabhama Yado Bhuja Sahakarutaya Yajnaseni Vivaham Partha Priti Punarabhimanagam Asthito Hastipuryam Shakraprastham Puramapi Vibho Vidhaya Gato Bhu. That lovely Satyabhama, one who was very close to Krishna, Lalayan, sporting with her, keeping her happy, that affectionate, beautiful Satyabhama, you went to Draupadi's wedding along with her. Yato Bhuyaha Sakalutaya Yajnaseni Vivaham. Yajnaseni, Draupadi, who has come out of the, who was born out of the sacrificial fire, that is why she is called Yajnaseni. You went there to Draupadi's wedding along with Satyabhama. Partha Priti Punarabhimana Kasthito Hastipurya. For the sake of Arjuna, you went along with him to Hastinapura after their marriage. You accompanied them to Hastinapura. And when they returned to Hastinapura, that is when the division of Hastinapura happens and the Kuru kingdom is divided into two. Hastinapura is with Dhritarashtra and Duryodhana, and Indraprastha is given to Yudhishthira. Indraprastha at that point of time was absolutely a barren land. Nothing would grow there. Nothing was there. No habitation at all. That kind of a place was given to Yudhishthira for making it his kingdom. Shakraprastham. Shakraprastha is Indraprastha. Samvidhaya. You installed Yudhishthira as the king there. You founded the city of Indraprastha itself. And that is why Indraprastha, even to this day, is the capital of India. Delhi is the place where, around where Indraprastha was there. Because of Krishna's anugraha, even today it is one of the important cities of our country. And that is where, after that has always been the epicenter of our history. Indraprastha has been the epicenter. And then you return back to Dwaraka along with Satyabhama, having been there for a few days. Bhadram, Bhadram, Bhavadavarajam, Kauravena, Thyamana, Twadvachatam, Ahrita Kuhana, Maskari, Shakrasunuhum, Tatra Krutham, Balamanunagirnam, Pratyagaste Nasartham, Shakraprastham, Priyasakamude, Satyabhama, Sahaya. Bhadra, that is Subhadra, who was your younger sister, she is Bhadra also. She is virtuous. So Bhadram, Bhadram. One Bhadra means virtuous. The second Bhadra refers to Subhadra. So Bhadram, Bhadram. Avaraja means younger sister. She was requested. That is, she was given. She was again given by word to Duryodhana. Balarama had promised Subhadra to Duryodhana. Kauravena Antyamana. But Subhadra was not interested in that marriage. See, in all these places, because the woman is not interested to marry that particular man, that is why they create another way. Krishna, Arjuna. It is the liking of the woman which takes precedence. So it is Swayamvara in the sense that the woman, the Kanya, has to do the Varana of the Vara. She has to like and she has to accept that groom as her husband. If she does not like that person, then that cannot be a valid marriage. That is why Krishna always tries to stop that. She does not want to be married to Duryodhana, and she wants to marry Arjuna. Therefore, Krishna creates a plan. Arjuna takes the help of Krishna. Both of them plan together. Arjuna comes in the form of a sannyasi, a Tridandi sannyasi. Kuhana Maskari. Kuhana means Maskari is a sannyasi. Kuhana Maskari is in the Vesha of a sannyasi. Shakrasunuhum. The son of Indra comes there. That is Arjuna. Tatra Kruddham Balamanamayan. Arjuna kidnaps Subhadra and takes her off to Indraprastha. Therefore, Balarama is extremely frustrated. He is angry because of this. He is an insult upon the whole of Yadavas. So he begins and he wants to go and attack Arjuna and bring Subhadra back. Somehow with nice words, Krishna consoles Balarama, and along with Balarama itself, along with Satyabhama also, he goes to Indraprastha, Shakraprastham, Priyasakamude, and there they gaily they celebrate the union of Subhadra and Arjuna, the marriage of them both. Satyabhama Sahaya. So every now and then, either Krishna would go to Indraprastha, Arjuna will come to Dwaraka. Both of them cannot be separated. That is the friendship that both of them have. The greatest of friendships is Arjuna and Krishna, or Krishna and Sudhama. These are the ideal friendships. Nowadays, for Mahabharata, whenever somebody asks for friendship is talked about between Duryodhana and Karna. Duryodhana and Karna are not great friends. They are friends nonetheless, but they are not ideal friends. They are not the ideal for friendship. If they were the ideal for friendship, whenever Duryodhana went down the wrong path, Karna should have stopped him. He should have at least told him that this is what you do is not right. I will not play along with you in whatever you do. But whatever Shakuni says and whatever Duryodhana does, Karna somehow is supporting them. He says that he has no other go, but if at all he was a good friend, he should have always stopped Karna. And Duryodhana takes the advantage that since Karna is within his hand, since Karna is indebted to him, he thinks that whatever he does, Karna will always be along with him. That is not an ideal friendship. So they are not on equal stature at all. One is taking advantage of the other, and the other is ceding advantage. They are not able to stick to their own principles. Ideal friendship is between Krishna and Arjuna. Whenever Arjuna is on the wrong path, Krishna will stop him. Krishna will save him. And they will always be together. Their heart is always together. Similarly with Krishna and Sudhama. That is the ideal of friendship. Duryodhana and Karna are not an ideal of friendship. They are how a toxic friendship would work. not an ideal friendship. So this is the beautiful friendship between Arjuna and Krishna is the ideal for friendship. Where Krishna always, every now and then he keeps going to Indraprastha, and whenever Arjuna has time, he will come back to Dwaraka. That is how they always spend time with each other. And whenever Krishna travels, Satyabhama always likes to travel. Probably Rukmini is not very fond of traveling, so she stays back. Even when Krishna goes to meet Pandavas in the forest, Satyabhama always travels along with them. She is close friends with Draupadi, and Satyabhama is always traveling with Krishna. So these Krishna going to Draupadi's Swayamvara, Krishna, this marriage of Subhadra, all this is not there in Bhagavata. Bhattatri takes a lot of stories from Mahabharata also, weaves it into Krishna's story, and it is almost according to chronology. In Bhagavata also, we don't see it in chronological order, and we get confused between the instances in Mahabharata and how to put them in their chronology. Bhattatri being a great Pandita in both Bhagavata and Mahabharata, he weaves both of them together and gives it to us in almost chronological order. Tatra kridanna vicha yamuna mula drishtan grihitva tam kalindim nagaramagamaha khandava priditagrihi. Along with Arjuna, they both used to go upon walks along the banks of Yamuna. We know Yamuna flows through Indraprastha. So there, every now and then, you and Arjuna used to go along sporting that. Yamuna mula drishtan grihitva. So on the banks of Yamuna, once upon a time, you saw Kalindi, and she wanted to marry you. And therefore, you married Kalindi, and you came back to Dwaraka. Before that, what did you do? Khandava Priditagnihi. You gave the whole Khandava forest to Agni, who came and requested that. So this story is again famous in the Mahabharata, where Arjuna and Krishna, when they are there, Agni comes in the form of a Brahmana, wants to devour the whole of Khandava Prastha. But every time he tries to do that, Indra comes in the form of rain and he does not allow Agni to eat Khandava Prastha. Therefore, Arjuna and Krishna help Agni by fighting with Indra, by covering the whole forest with arrows, by defeating Indra, and therefore Agni is able to devour the whole of Khandava Prastha. That is when Agni gives the Gandiva to Arjuna. And Maya, who is saved from this Khandava fire, he is indebted to Arjuna and he builds that palace for Yudhishthira. All this is related to the Khandava Dahana. So Khandava Priditagrihi Bhratritrastam Pranaya Vivasham Deva Paitrishvasevi. So the fourth wife has been married. Her name is Kadindi. Now the second part of the third shloka is the fifth Mahishi. Rajnyam madhye sapanija krishe vitravindam avanti. The fifth is Mitravinda, the fifth Mahishi of Krishna. Again, her brothers, she was frightened of her brothers. So Bhratritrasta, she wanted to marry Krishna again, but she did not know how to put it in front of her brothers. She was frightened of them, but she was Pranaya Vivasha. She was so much in love with Krishna that she wanted to marry only him. She is again Krishna's aunt's daughter, Vasudeva's sister's daughter, Deva Paitrishvasevi. She was frightened of her brothers because her brothers were friends of Kamsa. Kamsa is killed, but she is not able to put forth her views. Rajnyam madhye sapanija krishe. Again, you kidnapped her. In front of all the kings, you kidnapped her from Avanti. They were in the kingdom of Avanti. You brought her back. Fifth Mahishi is Mitravinda. Satyam gatva punarudavaho nagnajinnam dhananta badhva sapta vichagrishamarane saptamurtir nimeshat. The sixth Mahishi is called as Satya. You went to the Kosala Desha there, and there the king was named as Nagnajit. His name is Nagnajit. He had a Veera, what we call, you have to do something to win the daughter. Veera Shulka, Virya Shulka, it is called. So you have to show your prowess to win over. Just like Arjuna did for Draupadi or Ramachandra did for Sita, you have to show your prowess to win over the hand in marriage. Here, so he goes there. The shulka here, the rule here is that there are 7 great bulls, and all bulls have to be tamed. All 7 bulls have to be tamed. Nobody was able to do this. Krishna goes there, he takes 7 different forms. Saptavicha Krishavarana, Saptamurti. In a minute, he took 7 different forms and tamed all the 7 bulls instantly, and therefore he got the hand of Satya in marriage, who was a daughter of Nagna Chitra. Bhadrannama Pratadurathate Deva Santardhanadhyaha Tatsodarya Varadabhavataha Sabi Vaidrishvasevi. Then there were these people called as Santardhanas, who were the brothers of Bhadra. Bhadra is the 7th Mahishi, 7th wife of Krishna. She was the princess of Kekeya, the Kekeya Desha. Previous Nannachit was from Kosala Desha. Santardhanas were from Kekeya Desha. They themselves gave Bhadra in marriage to Krishna. She was also Paitrishvasevi, meaning she was Vasudeva's sister's daughter. Vasudeva had multiple sisters. This sister's name was Shrutakirti. Do not confuse with Shrutakirti, who was Shatrughna's wife. Vasudeva's sister's name was also Shrutakirti. She was given in marriage to Kekeya king, and her daughter was Bhadra. Bhadra was married to Krishna. So Krishna's 7th wife was Bhadra. Partharjira Pyakrutalavanam Toyamatra Bhilakshim Laksham Chitva Shakarama Vrutha Lakshmanam Mantrakanya. The 8th wife of Krishna was named as Lakshmana, or Lakshana is also there, both names. She was the daughter of Madra Raja, the kingdom of Madra. There again there was a Vijay Shulka saying, very similar to Draupadi's Swayamvara, that you have to hit an arrow on the fish whose reflection can be seen in the waters below. There even Arjuna had come and even he could not hit that particular fish on that day. That same thing, you performed that feat, Laksham Chitva, you hit that goal of the fish. Shakara means fish. Lakshmana, Matrakanya, you married Lakshmana. Ashtavevam Tavasamabhavan. In total, you had 8 Mahishis. Vallabhas Tatra Madhye Shushrotatvam Surapati Gira Omaduscheshtitani. Like this, when you were enjoying with 8 of your wives, you heard about the evil deeds of Narakasura. Bhauma Duscheshtitani. Narakasura is called as Bhauma because he is the son of Bhumi Devi. Surapati Gira, Indra himself came and gave the news that Narakasura is troubling everyone here. So now the 8 wives of Krishna we will revise once again. The first wife was Rukmini, the second was Satyabhama, the second was Jambavati, third was Satyabhama, fourth was Kalindi, fifth was Mitravinda, sixth was Satya, seventh was Bhadra, and eighth was Lakshmana. On the whole, with Ashta Mahishis, Krishna is happy in Dwaraka when he gets the news of Narakasura. There is no happily ever after. He gets the news of Narakasura. Narakasura, as we all know, is the son of Bhumi Devi. When Bhagavan took the avatara as Varaha, that time along with Bhumi Devi, he had a son named Narakasura. That is when Narakasura was born during Varaha avatara. Smrita yatum pakshim pravaramadhikushastvamagamaha vahan anke bhamam upavanamivarati bhavanam. You just thought about Garuda, and Garuda immediately came there as your Vahana, Pakshi Pravaramadhiruthaha. You sat upon Garuda, and along with Satyabhama, Satyabhama accompanies Krishna for the war also, for the war along with Narakasura. Satyabhama sat on the lap of Krishna, Vahan Anke Bhamam, as if going to a garden, as if both of them were going for a picnic to some garden, like that. Upavanam iva arati bhavanam. You went to the city of your enemy along with Satyabhama, as if you were traveling to a garden. He is taking Satyabhama along because Satyabhama is an amsha of Bhumi Devi. When Narakasura was born, Bhumi Devi was given the boon, that Narakasura was given the boon that he will not be killed without the anumati of Bhumi Devi. Without the permission of Bhuma Devi, he will not be killed. So now that Satyabhama is Bhuma Devi's avatar itself, Krishna goes along with her. That means he has the permission of Bhuma Devi to vanquish Narakasura. Bibhindan Durgani Trudita Britana Shonita Rasihi Purantavat Pragyotisham Agurutha Shonita Puram. This Narakasura's city was called as Pragyotishapura. I think nowadays, now also we put Pragyotishapura somewhere in the northeast or somewhere. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But Narakasura's city was called as Pragyotishapura. You went there, and that Pura had multiple defenses. So not a single line of defense, so many different forts of defenses. All the fortifications you destroyed one upon the other, and that Pragyotishapura became Shonita. Shonita means blood. It became bloodied with the blood of your enemies. You just slaughtered all the enemies. Murastumam panchasyaha jaladhivana madhyanudapadad sachakre chakrena padalidashira manshukhavata chaturdantayir dantavalipatibhirindhanamasuram indhana samaram tathangena chitva narakamakaros tirna narakam. So in one of those fortifications, this asura named as Mura, who had 5 heads. Panchasyaha means 5 heads. Panchasya also refers to a lion. So he came charging at Krishna like a lion would come charging out of the forest. He came like an ocean. Jaladhivanam. Sachakre. So just like a discus, you took his head off. Pradalidashiraha Manshukhavata. Immediately you just severed his head from his body. That is why by killing this asura named as Mura, the Lord is known as Murari. Murari is a very famous name. This is how the Lord gains the name of Murari. Chaturdantayir dantavalipatibhirindhana samaram. Narakasura then came to fight directly with Krishna. He was sitting on a huge elephant which had 4 tusks. Chaturdantayir. That elephant had 4 tusks, so it's a huge elephant. And that he was easily cut down with your discus, and he was given liberation immediately. Naraka makaroho tirna narakam. He went beyond all the narakas. Narakasura went beyond all the narakas. Stuto bhumya rajyam sapati bhagadatte asyatanage. Immediately Bhuma Devi herself came and she praised Lord Krishna. Lord Krishna gave the Rajya to Narakasura's son Bhagadatta. This Bhagadatta will later be killed in the Mahabharata Yuddha. I think by Satyaki he will be killed. Bhagadattesya tanage Rajyam Dattva Gajan Chaikam Dattva Rajighayitha Nagan Nijapurim. So Narakasura had a lot of elephants. Here, one of those elephants he gave it to Bhagadatta, and the remaining elephants he sent it back to Dwaraka, Nijapuri. Khalena buddhanam swagata manasam shodasha gunaha sahasrani strinam amichatharasham cha vipulam. This cruel fellow Narakasura had kept 16,000 women there. He had imprisoned all of them and kept them there. And all of them were devoted to Krishna. Swagata manasam, Krishnagata manasam. All their minds were in Krishna only. So he took them all back to Dwaraka, and all the wealth that he had won over there also, he took that all back to Dwaraka. This whole Narakasura Samhara has a metaphorical meaning, an allegorical meaning also behind itself. Narakasura is born from Bhuma Devi. Just like our Sharira, our Sukma Sharira and Sthula Sharira comes from the 5 elements. Similarly, Narakasura is from the 5 elements. So Narakasura represents our Sthula Sharira and Sukma Sharira. The Mura Asura who was there, who was protecting this Pragyotishapura of Narakasura, is our 5 senses. So he was Panchasya, if you remember. He had 5 heads. Those 5 heads represent the 5 senses that we have, which are always attacking and going outwards. So he represents those five senses. The 16,000 women inside, they stand for the devotees of the Lord. So the devotees of the Lord, they pray to the Lord again and again and again. The Lord himself comes as Rishikesha, he destroys the senses. And then he destroys this body, the attachment with the body that is there. He destroys that attachment also. And he relieves these devotees out of that. And he makes them one with him. That Sayujya is attained with him. That is what it means by marrying all the 16,000 women in Narakapuri. He marries all of them. He grants Sayujya to all those devotees. Vyoma-samskrta-pathasala tadaditer dadum prayato divam shakradir mahitas samantayitaya yustrishu datta kriya kritva kalpatarum prushabhivanitam jitvendramabhyagamaha tattu Sriman idrishagiti vyakhyātumeva kruthaha. Vyoma-samskrta-pathasala. Narakasura had also from Indra's mother Aditi, he had stolen her earrings, very valuable earrings he had stolen from Aditi, who is the mother of all the devas. Knowing this, directly from Pragjyotishapura, he went to the heaven itself, he went to Devaloka. There he went and he gave these earrings back to Aditi, gave it back to Indra, and he was well honored by all the devas along with Indra. And he had gone there with Satyabhama itself to Devaloka. And seeing Satyabhama's beauty, the celestial maidens were all overcome with shyness. They were all coy, seeing how beautiful Satyabhama is. Yustrishu datta kriya. They all had to lower their heads in shame. Kritva kalpatarum. From that, he brought back the Kalpaka Vriksha. When you took the Kalpaka Vriksha back, Indra became angry. Rushabhipatitam. And therefore, you had to defeat Indra also again. Jitvendramabhyagamaha. Whoever is in possession of some kind of wealth, they all have some cause to become jealous or to become angry whenever that is taken away. That's why Shri Mada Dosha. Shri means wealth. Mada is the pride. The fault of pride in wealth. To remove that from Indra, Idrishagiti. So that is why you took that Kalpaka Vriksha back from that. That is why this whole Leela happened. This taking of Kalpaka Vriksha from Devaloka and bringing it back to Dwaraka. You came back to Dwaraka and planted the tree in Satyabhama's house. Kalpadrum Satyabhama Bhavana Bhuvi Srijanne Diveshta Sahasra Yoshaha Swikritya Pratyagaram Nihita Bahubahu Dalayan Keri Bhedaihi Diveshta Sahasra 8,000, that is 16,000 wives you accepted, and you so many houses you built for each of them, and so many farms you also took. Hita Bahubahu Dalayan Keri Bhedaihi, and you were happily living with all of them, sporting with each of them. One Krishna for each of the 16,000 wives, 16,008 people, 16,008 Krishnas. Each of them a separate family, and each of them have 10 sons, each of them with Krishna. Acharyan Narada Alokita Vividhagatihi. Narada himself comes and sees this wondrous Leela of Krishna in Dwaraka. He goes to each house, however house he can visit, he goes and sees. Everywhere Krishna is doing various grihastha dharmas. One place he is playing with the children. One place he is taking his wife out for a walk. Other place he is doing Agnihotra. In other place he is doing Samadar Yajna. Other place he is doing Dana Dharma. Other place he is doing Anusthana. So Rama Rama did Agnihotra with a single Agnihotra Shala. Here Krishna is doing 16,000 Agnihotras. That is what Bhagavata tells us. Krishna is such a great Adarsha for Grihastha Dharma. Ascharyaad Narada Lokita Vividhagatihi Tatra Tatra Vigehe. In each place, such great adherence to Dharma, you are taking care of that family. Gugyas Sarva Sukurvan Dashadashatanayan. In each of them, you had 10 sons. Pahi Patalayesha. O Guruvayurappa, who had such a great Leela, deigned to protect me from all the ailments. We will move forward with Dashaka 82 and 83 in the forthcoming discourses. The next Dashakam 82 is the fight with Bana and fight with Paramashiva himself, and later comes other stories. We will see it in the forthcoming weeks. Gopika Jeevana Smaranam Govinda Govinda Hara Namah Parvati Patage Hara Hara Mahadeva Yato Mamatma Bhavasit Tumeva Tato Navachim Mama Kinchidasti Yatha Taveshtam Kuruman Tatheva Tvamatmanatham Paramanam Tajam.